Yeah, blessings, sports trackers. Welcome back to the channel. I want to take this opportunity to thank those persons who have been watching the videos. Special thanks to those persons who have subscribed, and I also want to encourage those persons who have not subscribed yet to please go ahead and do so now. And after you have subscribed, if you want to continue getting notifications from this channel, you can just simply click that notification bell so that you will be notified each time I put out a new video. Alright, sports trackers. So I am here once again to comment on Ilian Thompson's race that she ran at the John Woolmer's Speedfest. Right now, Ilian ran the 400 meter. She competed in the 400 meter race and she finished fifth in a time of 1 minute 00.88 seconds. Right now, subsequent to her race, a lot of persons have been voicing their opinions as to what they think about her performance. Majority of the persons seem to be saying that, they are not pleased with the time that Ilian Thompson here ran and her performance, the way she looked, especially in the latter part of the race. Right? And, it must be said, sports trackers, that she did in fact fade towards the last 100 meters of that 400 meter race, right? She ran a very strong, very impressive 300 meters and then she faded in the latter part of the race and she finished fifth, right? I think she clocked about at 39 second split for the first 300 meters. Right, and that in itself is a respectable time. What I want to comment on, is basically what people are saying, because a lot of persons are saying, for an athlete of her caliber that would have been doing the sprints for a number of years now, and it is customary for her to open her season running the 400 meter, right, or for her to include the 400 meter in the first part of her season. They think that she should be running a better time, right? I think many persons would expect Ilian Thompson to probably run a 54, 55, or even a 56, right? So 1 minute is definitely not what is expected based on what people are saying, right? But what I want to bring across to people is that if you should look at the race, if you look back at the race, Ilian Thompson basically led that field coming into the home stretch. She ran a very impressive 300 meter and then she basically faded. It's not that she shut it down, right? It was evident that she basically suffered from the early pace that she went out and she basically did not have anything to offer on the home stretch. Right, so she was passed by 4 athletes and she subsequently finished fifth. A lot of persons have been very critical of Ilian's approach and the time that she registered. Now, what I want to do is to basically make a comparison first of all. Right, the Clayton twins, Tia Clayton and Tina Clayton, they would have opened their season earlier in the year running 400 meters as well, right? Tia Clayton, she opened first at the Kirkvine meet and she clocked a very slow time of 1 minute 14 seconds, I think, right? After that, she ran again at GC Foster and she clocked about 1 minute 13 seconds thereabout. Tina Clayton, she opened her season at GC Foster running a time of about 1:06, right? 1 minute 6 seconds, thereabout. Now, what I noticed is that for the Clayton twins, their approach was slightly different from Ilian's approach, right? They actually jogged the entire 400 meters. Ilian actually ran the first 300 meters and then basically came to a halt, right? But I noticed that despite the Clayton twins, despite their times being slower than Ilian's time, they got a lot of love from social media. They got a lot of support. People showed understanding. People were very comforting with them. People were very encouraging after their race. Right? Now, I find it kind of strange, for people to really treat Elaine differently, despite all three athletes being pro athletes, right? Now, a lot of persons might be saying the Clayton twins are young, you understand, and they are young professionals. However, what I want people to remember is that the Clayton twins are no longer in high school where they run in class. Professionals do not run in class, right? So there's no class 1, 2, 3, and 4. All professionals, they run against each other. So what I'm wondering is that how is it that persons are so critical of Elaine but not very critical of the twins? I know that some persons may argue that yes, they are young, they just turned pro, but I can argue that there is a Brianna Liston that I saw running a 52 split on a 4x4 for Idle, right? Now, Brianna Liston is in college. She's not yet a pro, but I can bet you that if Brianna Liston should be placed in a 400 meter right now, she would be able to clock at least a 55 seconds or so, 55, 56. She's also young and not yet a pro. And as far as we know Brianna Liston to be a 100 and 200 meter sprinter just the same, who basically would be doing the 400 meter for strength as well. So what I'm basically saying, sports trackers, is that, it is too early for us to really judge their performance based on running a simple 400 meter that I'm sure they don't even want to run. I'm almost sure if meet organizers had the 300 meters on the schedule, most, if not all, 1-2 sprinters would be running a 300 meter instead of a 400 meter. So that is just my take on it. And I don't want anybody to get me wrong, because I am not saying that we should also be critical of the twins. What I am saying is that we should not be critical of any of our athletes, right? So the same way in which you encourage the twins and say, yes, it is just a 400 meter, that is not your event, you will get better. I think, despite Elaine being a more experienced athlete, she needs that kind of support just the same, right? So do not criticize any of them. That is what I'm saying, especially so early in the season, right? It is very, very early in the season and too early to tell how they will progress, right, in their individual paths towards that 100 and that 200 meter run. Right, so what I'm basically saying, sports trackers, is that I personally think that Elaine Thompson-Herah deserves more respect than what I see her getting on social media right now. Right, we must never ever forget that this is a lady that ran 10.54. She is the fastest female alive right now. She is the double Olympic champion. And I think that in itself has earned her some amount of respect. Yes, we have to admit that in recent times we have not seen her at her best self. She has not been in the best of form, due to injuries and whatever other issues she may be having. There are some of us, including myself, who believe that she should not have changed her coach, but that is a personal decision. It's a professional decision. And I have commented on it before. I respect her decision, but I can still say that in hindsight, I think that she would have made a mistake there. Regardless of all of that, I think we should be showing Elaine Thompson-Herah some more respect on based on what she would have accomplished, based on what she would have done for Jamaica, and based on the fact that this woman continues to show up despite the criticisms from her own people. If you notice in the sports trackers, Shelly-Ann Fraser has not opened with a 400 meter for 2 seasons now, right? She opened with the 200 meter last season, and based on the fact that she does not plan to run the 200 meter this season at the World Championship, she is basically opening with the 100 meter, in Botswana next month. So I say that to say this. I don't think it is a must that sprinters really open with the 400 meter. I think they do it to basically look on the race and make a determination as to where they are in terms of their strength training, and they will obviously go back to the drawing board and fix what they need to fix as it relates to the strength of the athlete, right? So that is my take on the whole situation, sports trackers. Please let me know what you think in the comment section. Blessings.